Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw. It's the wrestling show with Steve and Larson, and then on pay-per-view events, Dan Nerd Cubed.
Correct.
But today, since it's not a pay-per-view event quite yet,
It's just us.
It is just us. So that's what the deal is right now. So we have a couple new things we're going to introduce today.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring back Raw Cap, but you're anti-Raw Cap.
It just...
You know the only reason I want to bring back Raw Cap?
Filler.
No, the Stinger.
Oh. Yeah.
And then you say,
Raw cap.
"Oh, you lack heart. I need your heart back."
I don't lack heart. I'm ready to move forward, look towards the future. I'm not into revisiting Trio Woe days. Let's do something
You're
new.
not?
No,
People love the Trio Woe.
It came and went. It's done.
Oh, all right. All right, so instead of Raw Cap, though, we're going to take a topic of the day and discuss that. Current WWE storylines, what is going on?
But also we can talk about those, obviously, within the context of the latest episode of Raw. Raw cap.
There you go. All right, so today we're going to be talking about I literally have Raw playing on Hulu right now next to me, so I couldn't even do a Raw cap if I wanted to.
Oh, you haven't watched it? I actually watched it in real time for the first time in a long time last night.
I'm sorry to hear about that. How was Heyman's promo?
It was good. He's always good.
He's always good, but did it advance anything? That's my question. When I saw that Heyman cut another promo, I just thought, what did he give us this week that we didn't get last week?
It wasn't so much what he did or did not give us versus last week. It was Reigns came out to counter while he was talking.
Okay, and how did that play out?
Well, I mean, at the end, of course, Reigns got the upper hand, kind of, and then Heyman says, essentially, you'll be able to have your face-to-face with Lesnar next week. So,
why are they having Reigns in matches? They need to have him in matches right now.
Yeah, I know.
We need to see him. We need to see what he can do. I don't get this. I don't get it at all.
He should be winning everything.
All right. Well, I'm not. You're right. This is why we're not doing Raw Cap because it sucks. So your topic that you're suggesting today is WWE wasting Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Let's see here. Talk his road. I like your notes.
Oh my God. That's why I gotta stop doing notes. I gotta have just like one word.
Yeah. Talk his road to WrestleMania versus last year. This is my thing about this. Number one, obviously, I would much prefer Daniel Bryan being on the road to the big confrontation with Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. I think we'd both prefer that. Correct?
Yeah.
A far more interesting story.
Oh yeah, potentially.
True David versus Goliath material.
Oh yeah. I mean, as big as an underdog as Daniel Bryan was last year. I mean, in terms of an individual match, I would say Lesnar is a more formidable opponent than the combination of Orton and Batista.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I agree.
Just in terms of that. Granted, he's not facing the huge authority stable, but in terms of an individual, there is no more dominating performer in wrestling today than Brock Lesnar.
Talking realistically, though, if you were in the WWE's shoes and Daniel Bryan comes back from an injury that a lot of people thought, hey, this might be career-ending.
Yeah.
Would it be wise to go down that road again?
The underdog story, you mean?
No, this guy might be a liability, like in terms of his injuries.
That's something you could play into the storyline too. That even makes him more of an underdog. That at any moment Brock could do something to him that could end his career.
At any moment, Daniel Bryan could take a simple back bump and be
paralyzed.
Done. Yeah, and be paralyzed. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's probably not that way because if it was that way, he wouldn't be wrestling. But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. That's why I'm not. I don't know. Yeah, Daniel Bryan would be great, but knowing that he was close to retirement, I don't know. It hurts me every time I see him in the ring, and I kind of want Lesnar gone before Daniel Bryan. Like Lesnar's a stiff worker.
Yeah, he is. That's why he's great.
I don't want him in the ring with Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan's a stiff worker too. His match with Reigns at Fastlane was stiff.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's that video online where that guy wasn't selling for Daniel Bryan in the Indies, and Daniel Bryan beat the shit out of him.
Hey, do you remember when Perry Saturn beat the crap out of some jobber for doing that?
Yeah.
Like he on Thunder, and he legitimately beat his ass.
Yeah.
Oh, what a nightmare. All right, let's see here.
Well, I mean, there's more here. I'm sure there's more here we could talk about. I mean,
Yeah, I know. You're trying to bring prestige back to
oh,
IC
Jesus.
title.
I
Dash.
really gotta stop writing notes because
Is this the way to do it? I'm still torn on this too because IC is supposed to be like a stepping stone belt, and
Yeah.
I think it works really really well as a stepping stone belt because you get to see who is next. Like
The IC belt has traditionally served two purposes. It's been the stepping stone belt, the belt for guys who are on the cusp of being main eventers, and also it's the belt that's been given to the guys who are traditionally the best workers.
hey, did you see Rusev's lawyer?
Yeah,
He looks like me in GTA Online without
he
my
does.
pig mask.
I thought that too.
Did you? Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
That's weird.
He just has glasses on and blonde
Anyways,
hair. Otherwise,
stepping
same
stone,
thing.
and then what else did you say?
It's usually given to the guys who are the best workers. The best.
Yeah. Like Mr. Perfect held it. Yeah, Scott
yeah.
Hall held it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But lately, neither of those things have necessarily been true.
For a long time.
It's just been passed around somewhat indiscriminately. And it's interesting what they're doing with it now. They're making it a belt that people want,
Yeah.
and quite literally by stealing it.
Yeah.
And in theory, say if D-Bry won it, I can't believe I just called him that.
That was dope.
Daniel Bryan won it. You know, a wrestler of his caliber, of his stature, of his star power, having that belt would lend some credibility and prestige back to the title, maybe. But
you're right, and you're absolutely right. This reminds me of the ECW television title.
Mm-hmm.
That was about, I think, RVD held it for like the
2 years
longest
almost.
time. Yeah. And if this was the belt that Daniel Bryan took to SmackDown, and he was the main event guy in SmackDown, and defended it in the main event at SmackDown, and that was the belt everybody wanted, then it would absolutely bring prestige to it. And I think doing it that way would, I think that would be really. I think if there's anybody who can bring prestige to the IC title, it could be him. And I think he's probably the kind of guy who would love that responsibility.
I mean, already in storyline, he's talking about how it's the one belt he hasn't won, and that's why it's a goal for him to get it. And I mean, it would effectively make the IC belt the big gold belt.
Yeah.
On SmackDown.
Do you think he's gonna? Because what you just said to me right there makes me think he's gonna win it.
I mean, his goal, when he came back, he kind of stated that his goal was to be the main guy at SmackDown and to have that rival Raw's ratings. And I guess if they put the belt on him, make that the top strap for SmackDown, and actually, here's the thing: regardless of who holds the belts, if they're not involved in interesting storylines and feuds, it's kind of all for naught.
Yeah, I agree. But if you have these two things, if you have Daniel Bryan constantly sort of the main event feature of SmackDown, and he's the IC belt holder, that kind of de facto makes it brings it something, you know.
It does, but I mean, but if it's still not involved in interesting storylines or matches or whatever, it's okay. He has a belt, big deal.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Let's see here. D-Bry has number one guy on SmackDown.
Doesn't make the show more or less the B show.
Doesn't make the show more or less the B show. I don't know. You know, like you said, I think it's this. I think when you watched the Heyman documentary, right? Mm-hmm. When he was talking about how when he was writing SmackDown,
the ratings were better.
The ratings were better. Creatively speaking, it was better. I think the same thing applies. I think SmackDown will become the number one destination if they write it that way, if they really put passion and heart and effort into it. I don't know if they'd – I've heard chatter about splitting the brands again. I don't think that's going to happen. But if you – I don't know, maybe if you split the brands. I don't know.
I think it'd be interesting if they did split the brands again.
Yeah, me too, because then you can really fuck with things.
I mean, they could – I was thinking about this last night, how – you split the brands, and I
love when you're sitting around thinking about wrestling. That's my favorite time of the day.
I do that all the time.
I know.
If they split the brands, but you can still have champions cross over from show to show. It's like a soft brand split.
Right.
Like there's dedicated rosters, but say
make it a big event when the Raw guy comes over to SmackDown.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
And and if they want to say unify the world titles for a bit. Just make sure it's a guy who's willing to be on both shows every week.
Yeah.
And you can split it back up and put them together. And if especially leading up to the big pay-per-views, have build-up feuds that involve, cross roster pollination,
Right.
and make it a big event. But apart from those big pay-per-views like SummerSlam or WrestleMania or Royal Rumble, you have the split be pretty significant and really build up a sense of competition between the two brands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like at Survivor Series, you can have a match where like the top five guys from each brand go at it for brand domination, have something on the line.
I think you've just been watching pay-per-views from like the early aughts.
Maybe.
I think they were doing that. I love Seth Rollins. He's on the screen right now.
Yeah, he's good.
He's flipping great. I love when Jamie Noble came out and said, "Everybody knows I'm the secret weapon of the authority."
Yeah, he talks like the targeted.
He said, "I know." He had that line, "You're not just my work associate, you're my friend."
Yeah.
Rollins just slapped the shit out of Noble backstage. Mercury's breaking him up. See, this is a rock cap right here.
Raw cap.
There you go. Look at that. There, your spirit's back into it.
There's actually less spirit every time I say it.
I'm going to get you down to none more spirit.
You're getting there.
Your final note here.
This is really the question. Should Daniel Bryan be in this year's WrestleMania main event?
You know what? How about this is the thing? How about this? What if we just stop giving a shit about the WrestleMania main event? What if we care? What if we start caring about the IC title if Daniel Bryan gets it?
Well, I guess the question wasn't necessarily just posed as just you and I. I think it was meant to be kind of more universal than that.
The WrestleMania main event should obviously be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
That's what it should be.
If you really want to elevate a new guy that's worthwhile, yes.
Man, that'd be awesome. I'd geek out so hard if he finished off Brock Lesnar clean.
Yeah.
And then put a gun to his head. Said, "Get out of my ring.
That's always
you're fired. It was me, Lesnar."
That was your answer. That's your answer to everything.
Yeah.
Just put a gun to his head.
Even my creative character in Fuck Wrestling has a gun when he comes out to the ring.
Yeah.
I know.
And yet
great.
you still lose.
Yeah, and
you never use that gun, probably because you're blindfolded and can't see a goddamn thing.
It'd be awfully dangerous. It'd be kind of a legal liability if I'm shooting a live gun in the middle of the ring.
I would say so.
So that's going to hit somebody.
I mean, even
be
XPW
it fan or foe, I don't know.
Just think about it this way: XPW never even went that far.
I bet not for lack of wanting to, though. Guarantee you that. Those crazy sons of bitches. So I don't know. Is he being wasted? We'll find out at WrestleMania. I think if he's involved in a worthy cause, i.e. the Intercontinental Championship, bring prestige to that, I think that's a worthy cause.
No, I think it is a worthy cause to a degree. But I mean, if it seems like it's a program, if it seems like there's, I guess it goes back to last year. Excuse me, all the talk of him getting buried while he was, on the rise to being, the most over guy in the company.
Right.
And all this talk of them putting him in storylines to bury him, to keep him out of the main event picture, and ultimately the fans forced Vince's hand, and he was inserted into the WrestleMania main event. Mm-hmm. And there's still talk all over whether that was a work or whether it was a shoot, whether that was always kind of the intention or not, which I don't know what to believe, because even Daniel Bryan said it wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah. But then again, it's all during interviews, so maybe he's just still quote unquote in character. So the lines are so blurred between the real and
they
the
call
fantasy.
this the reality era, but
That's
really
true.
It's just the it's the jumbled era. We don't know.
It really is. So I think a lot of people still have especially after the how Bryan fared in the Royal Rumble. People always have this sense that he's just being buried, that he is really viewed as a B+ guy, that he's
people always want to think that he's being buried, and it's hard to tell. It's like, look at anybody else, and I don't know. I mean,
he was main eventing pretty much every Raw after he came back from injury.
Yeah, he was, even though they had him
Smackdown
against Kane. I love Kane and Big Show right now. Their dynamic is awesome.
Yeah,
they make me fucking laugh. I like them. Let's see here. So I don't know. I think if they ran him right, I don't think he'd be wasted. I don't think he's. They probably look at him and say, "Hey, you're most over guy in the company. We've got Brock with a title. We're trying to get this Roman Reigns guy over. Let's see where else you can be useful. Let's not shoot our nut all in one place."
Yeah,
because I don't think this is the thing. I don't think that it would be. I don't think the numbers there is no buy rate anymore, but I don't know that WrestleMania would be more successful financially for the company if it were Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. I don't think it'd be any more or less. I think it'd be the exact same as it is.
Oh, you think so?
I do believe
Do you think there'd be 10,000, reportedly 10,000 unsold seats for WrestleMania if Daniel Bryan was not in the main event?
What's the venue capacity?
70,000.
Yeah, I do. Maybe. Yeah, I do. Because I just don't. I don't know. I do.
Okay.
Probably. It's not going to be as hot an arena. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I just don't know anymore. I mean, Roman Reigns still gets pops.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is a draw no matter what. He's Brock Lesnar, you know.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, despite Reigns getting pops, and to his credit,
if everything was booked right, yeah, maybe. But this is the WWE. We can't assume that everything's going to be booked right.
Well, we can generally assume that everything's going to be booked wrong.
Oh, man. I got to screen cap this. Hold on. My Hulu froze on Brock's face, and it's classic.
So while we're talking the road to WrestleMania.
I got it.
Good. While we're talking the road to WrestleMania, we might as well bring this up because there's been
This is our own little booking situation.
I know. This is our own angle. To briefly recap, back when WrestleMania tickets went on sale, I bought tickets for all of us, including you.
Yeah, correct.
You were all in.
Yeah, all in.
And then I believe 3 things happened that ultimately changed your mind.
Yes, the trifecta.
1, we lost our jobs.
Yes.
2, you went to the house show and sat ringside, and apparently that spoiled you forever.
God, yeah.
Even though it was the B team. 3, the card at WrestleMania really wasn't up to snuff. The combination of those 3 things apparently led you, even though you already paid me for your ticket,
yes,
to change your mind. But
now, already paid you for my ticket is that's a separate issue. I could have $200 cash back in hand if you're successful at selling it.
Well, that's a big if. Yeah. Considering there's 10,000 reportedly.
But how many of those seats are sitting next to you in Hilton?
I don't know.
None.
Probably,
that's how many.
There's a lot on StubHub that you could get that are in our same section. But I'm not. I'm not going to put them up on the marketplace or whatever, and say, hey, these seats are.
Why not go to WrestleMania with your favorite YouTubers?
First of all, Hilton's not a YouTuber.
With your favorite YouTuber and Emmy winner.
But anyways, there's a change. Apparently, maybe you might be going.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not.
You need to. I need a solid, definitive answer from you by tomorrow. Because if not, I have 2 tickets to sell versus 1. And
okay.
I don't want to be waiting until the last minute.
Okay.
Because yesterday it was like, yes, I'm going, and then now already you're singing a different tune.
I got hyped. I know, but I just thinking of logistics of it all. I don't even know what Hilton's doing. I don't know.
That's why you have to communicate.
I don't know what Hilton's doing. I don't know what you're doing.
I told you what I'm doing.
What are you doing again?
I'm staying with the in-laws.
Oh, yeah. You're not going to go to that party with me?
I already told you I would. I told you that yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
We could be partying with Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah. Why are you trying to sell me on it when I already told you I was
down
to go?
You know his name is now. Do you think
Alberto Del Patron, yeah.
El Patron.
El Patron.
To me, that sounds like Alberto of the tequila. Isn't Patron a tequila?
Yeah.
Yeah. It means the boss. El Patron means the boss.
Yeah, he's the boss.
Alberto the boss.
But regardless, I don't know why you're trying to sell me on a thing that I already said I'm down to go to.
Yeah, but I forgot what you said. And then sometimes you'll, wiggle out of it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think you'll wiggle out of it.
You're the one that's wiggling out of things.
Me?
Yeah. This is like your at least 3rd flip-flop.
Yeah, but you know me. You know that I flip-flop a lot on big decisions.
You do, but this now is not the time for any
You know what my favorite breakfast food is? You know what my favorite breakfast food
Waffles.
Because I waffle a lot.
Yes, you do. But I need a definitive answer no later than 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
You know what really bugs me?
Firm.
Is that you told Hilton yesterday he has not courted me. He has not said, oh, this is awesome, you're going. Let me lavish some praise on you.
Who Hilton lavishing praise on you?
Yeah.
That's not my responsibility.
Very disappointed in that.
That's completely up to him.
I know. I understand that. I'm giving you a reason as to why I'm kind of waffling now. I haven't heard from Hilton. That's
you guys,
very disappointing.
Your communication issues with Hilton, they're not my problem. That's between you two. All right?
I'll let you know by tomorrow. I probably won't go. Probably will go. I don't know.
Jeez Louise.
There's a lot of waffling. Hey, you said tomorrow. I can waffle as much as I want right now.
But it's from my perspective, understand how frustrating this is. Because
You know what?
No, let me finish. Let me finish. You're in. You paid me for your ticket.
Yes.
In that sense, that's it. You should be locked in, as far as I'm concerned. Whether I want to try to sell your ticket that you already paid for, it should be irrelevant. You gave me money for it. You should be in regardless. Anyways, and then you say you're out. I say, okay, I'll see what I can do to help you out.
Yes.
And then yesterday you say, hey, I'm in on this condition.
Yeah.
And first of all, you already paid for your ticket. You already committed to go.
Negotiations.
Then you waffled. You removed yourself from it. But now you're saying, hey, I'll go again if you agree to my terms.
Yeah, exactly.
Why should we have to agree to your terms? You already paid. You already said, I'll go. I paid for my ticket.
I would think that you would want me to go.
I do want you to go because I don't have to go through. But I do, but
because what?
Let me
Any
finish.
answer? You let me finish now. Any answer that isn't, I do want you to go because I enjoy having a good time with you at these things, and I want my friend to have a good time. I want to be there with my friend. Nothing about this is ever about being my friend. I said the other day I want to buy you a T-shirt, and you said I don't need your charity. What happened to just buying a T-shirt for a friend? What happened to our actual friendship?
It's complicated now. I'm all bummed out about this whole WrestleMania situation, Steve. It's left me a little sour. I'll be honest with you.
What WrestleMania? What, my WrestleMania? Me? If you would court me a little bit, express 1 ounce of care that I might go or might not go, just based on our companionship.
I would assume that was the whole foundation of us going all together. The reason for going is not just to go to WrestleMania. It's for all of us to go to WrestleMania and have a good time. Oh. And that was from day one has been my expressed outcome and desire. And
I don't think it has been. Now, when you say it that way, then that now I'm starting to waffle towards going again. I just want to make sure that we get a picture with Alberto El Patron.
Okay, but understand from my perspective, when that's the thing, when we were all excited, once it was announced that it was going to be in San Jose, that we could go to WrestleMania, we were all hyped. Remember the day last year at WrestleMania when they announced the date and the location? Mm-hmm. We were all talking about, oh shit. Granted, circumstances were different then. Oh shit, we should get like ringside seats.
Yeah,
we should pony down $3,000 for ringside seats, and we were all fucking stoked to go.
Yeah, incredibly.
We got tickets. Granted, not ringside, but we got good seats at a decent value. And we're all excited. And then, after we get laid off, you're like, I don't want to go anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't fucking care we got laid. Granted, I'm not going to judge anybody's, financial decisions.
Sounds like it, though.
No. But I'm just saying from my perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we got laid off. I've already spent the money. Granted, I could sell them and get it back, but I'd rather go with my friends and have a good time.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so,
all right.
Yeah, that's why I give you shit about it.
I have 24 hours to decide. But the fact that you showed an ounce of care for me in there, a little glimmer that there's still a friendship here, makes me think, okay, yeah, maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go.
You're gonna go.
Hilton still disappoints me though.
You're still gonna go.
We have a new segment.
No, there's storyline updates we can talk about.
Yeah, storyline updates. We're gonna do our. You didn't want to do our revised predictions?
No, I want to save that for next week.
Oh, okay.
The week, the show before our go home episode.
Before
WrestleMania. We'll save it for that. There's no point because there's so little happened this week.
Why in your notes here you have a storyline update for Brock versus Reigns. What possible update has there been?
There's gonna be a face-to-face next week.
Oh God, there should have been faces to faces every single week. Do you remember Austin versus Michaels leading up to that?
Yeah.
When DX was constantly attacking Stone Cold,
and Tyson was involved,
and Tyson was involved. It was nothing but face to face. Last year it was Daniel Bryan and the Authority. He was always face to face. Everything was face to face, and we don't get any face to face now.
What we do next week
pisses me off.
Well,
the Undertaker's not going to show up until
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I still say they should have not even announced his participation in the match till he just shows up at WrestleMania. I thought that'd been cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of torn on that. I would be okay with that if Bray had something to do in the meantime.
Other than talk?
I don't care.
My goodness.
Nah.
You're so jaded.
I need something. I need something. What happened with the IC ladder match stuff? There was the 6-man tag this week, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was a good match, and at the end, everybody just kind of starts attacking everyone else. There was a good segment between Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, which leads me to believe that there's, with or without the IC belt, there's a feud in their future between the two.
Dude, can you imagine? SmackDown could become like, whenever I say ECW, I never mean at all. I never mean like the hardcore thing, like the intense match. I mean like the long rivalries with multiple twists and turns.
The year-long storyline.
Could you imagine Daniel Bryan wins the IC belt, him and Ziggler go to SmackDown almost exclusively, and they're the main event for like 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. That would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Let's see what we could do with that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Let's see. Orton versus Rollins. This is actually probably my favorite feud going right now.
Yeah. I have been thoroughly enjoying Randy Orton in the few weeks since he's gotten back.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying his work beforehand. I never thought I'd ever say these words, but I like Randy Orton.
And you know what I think he has said before that he in order to perform well, he needs to be engaged in something that he believes in, which makes sense. I mean, that's for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that he knows that Seth Rollins is an important part of the WWE's future, and this is an important task.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about this, is that Orton is giving it his all. Rollins is just on another fucking level.
Yep.
And I love the Authority faction. The Authority faction just reminds me so much of the ECW factions. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's great. I mean, Rollins is such a throwback to the sort of Shane Douglas type character that I absolutely
that's a good analogy.
Fucking loved back then. Like, yeah.
Sting came out last night too at the very
end. That was a good mark out moment. That was a weird create a storyline moment.
Yeah, and I still don't know if he's going to wear his shirt at WrestleMania or not.
It was a very end of Nitro moment.
It was.
As far as the shirt goes, I hope I
will say this. Even with the shirt on, and I don't know if you saw, there was a picture that someone took yesterday.
He looks trim. Like, he doesn't look like he has a stomach. I saw that. I know.
His arms look like they're in good shape. He's got some good triceps that look like under that shirt.
I think this is the problem. I think we, because he's old and because he wrestled in a shirt in TNA, maybe when he wasn't as he didn't have a whole year to get in shape.
Yeah.
We sort of forget that. Look at who was standing. Was Randy Orton wearing a shirt in the ring with him last night? I forget. It wouldn't surprise me if he was. He wasn't because there was because of the end of the match.
Yeah. Well, when he comes out for a match, he generally doesn't wear a shirt.
Exactly. But if this was a segment, I think it makes me wonder if Sting is just simply wearing this
to sell T-shirts.
To sell T-shirts.
Yeah, possible.
I hope so, because I think, like you said, I've seen pictures of him. He doesn't look like he's fat.
No.
And I think he's got, like, for his age, he looks really, really good.
He does.
So yeah,
he still moves pretty well.
Yeah, he does. I had a dream this morning. I didn't sleep very well last night. I had a dream this morning that you're gonna like this. That Sting came out, and at the end of Raw last night, because I hadn't actually seen it yet, he came out and he took off a wig and he had his blonde surfer cut, but it didn't look very good on him.
Did he have a mask too, and he took that off, and he had his old face paint?
He literally, I was about to say that he had his Stinger mask, like from the crowd. He took that off, and he had old face paint on. It was a very big letdown. It was like kind of a mark out moment for a second, then you realize how goofy it looks.
Yeah,
that's not good. So yeah, that was Sting Triple H. I'm looking forward to that. That could be good.
Yeah, no, I think Orton, Rollins, Sting, Triple H, and the ladder match are kind of the things I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah.
Easily. And,
agreed.
I'm curious how much time they're going to give the Divas at WrestleMania, because last night they gave them 10 minutes.
Yeah, they gave them a bunch of time.
It was an okay match. It wasn't
the
bad.
more time, the better, so I can see my girl.
Yeah,
she's dating the lead singer to some band.
I would think that would be reason enough for you to go, so you can be in the same stadium as Paige.
If I can't touch her, why bother? I'd be closer to her. I can touch her just as much from my home and be closer to her in the camera angles. Field of view.
But not in person.
It's not like I can smell her. I mean, there's no advantage to me being there. See, that's not a selling point. Paige in the same building's not a selling point, especially since I saw on Instagram she's dating some guy. This is gonna be a new segment. Steve's stalking page.
I guess so.
Segment of the week. What a creep.
Yeah.
It's all for jokes. I'm not really a stalker. I'm married, and my wife loves me very much, and she's fully aware that if I get a chance with Paige, I'm gonna bring her home, and we can both enjoy her. We can both feast.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God. Hopefully she likes flabby. She's already pale. Hopefully she likes flabby guys. Flabby pale guy. I'm in shape. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So now that we've discussed the current state of affairs with the WWE, we're going to take a trip back. We're going to exercise our wrestling knowledge, Larson.
Yeah.
We're going to debate.
Okay.
This is the new segment called the gorilla position. So it's going to be.
No, it's named after, I believe, Gorilla Monsoon.
Gorilla position.
Where it's right by the entry up to the ramp.
Yeah.
Where
calling the shots.
Yeah, where Vince sits and all the wrestlers prepare to go out into the arena. It's called the gorilla position.
He's like, okay, when you go out there, I want you to give it your all, and then just listen to the words that I'm feeding you, and then you'll say those. Okay, Vince. So this is gorilla position. We're going to debate what is the best WrestleMania of all time.
Okay, first of all, let's list contenders.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, got that.
WrestleMania 17 is a good one. If I'm looking at your notes right now. 14 is a good one.
That's the one you're fond of.
What was 4?
That was the tournament for the World Heavyweight.
Oh, when Macho Man won? Yeah, okay. Was Flair? No, Flair was later.
No, Flair was
like
10. No, it must have been 7 or 8.
Okay.
You probably think of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of Royal Rumble, but then he had to go to WrestleMania after that.
Yeah, that following year.
I think he fought Macho Man, I want to say.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Let's see here. 30. What was 30? That was last year. Okay. 19. What was that?
That was Austin's farewell match.
Oh, yeah, in Seattle. I think that was in Seattle.
It was that was Brock Angle was the main event.
Oh yeah, where Brock almost killed himself.
Yeah,
those are good ones.
Do we have any other contenders?
I haven't looked at this card lately, but when Benoit and Guerrero won in their respective main events.
21?
No, I went to 21.
Oh, okay.
And that was a stacked card, but I wouldn't call it a classic.
Must be 22 then.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was 22. It was 20 or 22. That was a good one because I mean that would to me was like huge validation. I don't know what the rest of the card was like, but those main events were like huge validation for something. People had always said that Vince would never put over a WCW guy.
Yeah.
They look at Booker T and but Benoit and Guerrero were firmly WCW guys who came over.
Mm-hmm.
And in the co-main events of WrestleMania 22 or whatever, which one it was, they each won the big titles, and then they celebrated together in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, say what you will about Benoit later on, it sucks and everything. But that moment right there proved without a shadow of a doubt, if you had the talent, if you had the ingredients, they'll put you over.
Yeah.
And those guys, I think Guerrero a lot more than Benoit, but those guys were legit champions,
Mm-hmm.
Especially Guerrero. That guy had just so much charisma.
Oh, yeah. He was a great wrestler.
Yeah, and he was a great wrestler. So that was a good one. The first one was, obviously that sort of, I guess, set the standard. Without the first one, none of the others would have come around.
Yeah, from a historical vantage point.
From a historical perspective.
That should be on the list.
I would still think... I think a really good case for 3 could be made because it's Andre Hogan.
Well, also that's the one that had a Savage Steamboat.
Yeah,
generally considered a classic.
I think it comes down to
let's whittle this down, our short list down to 3, and then we can debate those 3.
I can whittle it down to 2.
Well, let's whittle it down to 3. I'll take off 1.
Okay.
I'll take off 4.
Yeah, you didn't want to put in Warrior versus Hogan.
Yeah.
You didn't want like a Sid versus
Hogan.
Or Yokozuna. Did he fight Yoko? I don't know. Anything with Yokozuna. Really.
All right, I have 5 here right now. Let's
all right,
find a way to strike 2.
I would say 30 goes off.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You know why? Not enough historical perspective.
Well, not yet, but in terms of top to bottom, the quality of the card, that's got to be up there.
I think it comes down to two of these, and I can look at them right now.
You're going to say 3 and
you're torn right now. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how can I let go of 14 and still choose something else?
I'm thinking you're either down to 3 and 14 or 3 and 17.
The latter is correct. I think it's 3 and 17 because those were the two. I believe those were the two biggest. Even Stone Cold says, and both HBK and him say 14 wasn't a great match.
No, and the rest of the card, if I remember correctly, was not that great.
I mean, it was an attitude card, and it was, to me, that's sort of, it's not the attitude card, but it really was a turning point because that was when Raw started winning in the ratings. That was a big moment. 3 and 17 because I think those have the two biggest matches in the history of the WWE, WWF. It's got Hogan Andre, it's got Hogan Rock.
17 was Rock Austin.
Which one was Hogan? Whoa! Which one was Hogan? Which one was Hogan Rock?
It must have been the year after that.
Was that 18?
It must have been.
Oh, I'd switch it out with 18 then.
I mean, 17 was the year that
The Rock
that Austin turned heel.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, take that off.
Yeah,
take that right
That's
off. That's
generally considered the best by many to be the best WrestleMania ever, top to bottom.
WrestleMania 17.
You look at the card.
All right, let me look at the card here. I say Rock Hogan. It would be a contender. My internet isn't working.
I got it. Yeah, it's the one in Houston. I remember watching this one.
I remember watching this one too, and I just remember because my thing is, okay, historical perspective. Austin turning heel was a bad move.
Yeah.
It was at least it was executed.
Well, here
let's
just go through the card.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. Chris Jericho, William Regal.
Okay.
Was your first match.
That could be a main event on Thunder.
Yeah.
Like 5 years earlier.
This looks to probably be the only kind of dud, which was Taz and the APA defeated Right to Censor.
Okay.
Kane defeated Raven and Big Show for the Hardcore title.
That's a create a custom character match.
Eddie Guerrero defeated Test for the European title. Angle defeated Chris Benoit, which is probably
a classic match.
Yeah. China defeated Ivory.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon defeated Mr. McMahon.
It was probably decent.
Yeah.
It was probably entertaining.
Edge and Christian defeated the Dudleys and the Hardys in a TLC match. The Iron Sheik won the 19-man Legends Battle Royal.
Well, that puts it up there already.
Undertaker defeated Triple H, their first WrestleMania match together, and then Stone Cold Rock.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm sure. Let's see. Receive praise. Hold on. The 10. Okay. I'm looking at like the reception here. Blah blah blah. Pay-per-view is awarded best major show for that year. Most memorable.
It was 18 that had Rock Hogan.
I think 18. I want to take a look at 18.
18 first match was Van Dam defeated William Regal for the IC belt.
Okay.
DDP beat Christian for the European title.
Man, DDP was there.
Maven defeated Goldust for the Hardcore title.
Okay, so the Hardcore thing was the thing.
Kurt Angle defeated Kane.
Probably a crappy match.
Undertaker over Ric Flair.
Oh, I love that match. That's why I think this is on here for me. That was a good match.
Edge defeated Booker T.
Edge and Booker T might have been a decent match.
Stone Cold defeated Scott Hall.
I remember. Yeah, everybody obviously knows that was in execution a lackluster angle, but Stone Cold in the ring with the NWO in general is kind of cool.
Yeah. Billy and Chuck defeated the APA, the Dudleys, and the Hardys. Tag belts.
That should have been like the fucking Raw pre-show.
Rock defeated Hogan.
Yeah.
Jazz.
Yeah, I kind of remember who she was.
Defeated Trish Stratus and Lita. And then main event was Triple H defeated Chris Jericho.
For the unified belts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think 18. was that Hell in a Cell?
No, it doesn't say so. No, it was a regular match, I think. Yeah, singles match.
Hold on a second. I swear that was.
I remember watching that one too. No, I didn't watch that one. I watched the one in Seattle though. That's 19. This is Lesnar.
I don't know. I'd say it's either this or 3, honestly.
Let's see. 19. Matt Hardy defeated Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight title. Undertaker defeated Big Show and A-Train. Trish Stratus defeated Victoria and Jazz for the women's title. Team Angle defeated Los Guerreros and Chris Benoit and Rhino for the tag team titles. HBK defeated Jericho.
It's probably a good match.
Triple H defeated Booker T. Hogan defeated Mr. McMahon. The Rock beat Stone Cold in Stone Cold's retirement match.
Mm-hmm.
And Lesnar beat Angle.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good card, too.
That's a decent card. I would still say, I don't know. I think the big matches make it. I don't think anything was like a giant stinker. On what was if you try to watch WrestleMania 3, what's WrestleMania 3?
Here, let's look that up.
Who else was on that one? Let's see here.
We had the
Rick Martel and Tom Zank defeated Bob Orton in the Magnificent Morocco. Oh my God! I can't. Harley Race defeated Junkyard Dog. Piper defeated Adrian Adonis. I'm not sure I'd want to sit through this whole thing. To be honest with you.
All the matches are short too.
Yeah.
Like the longest match is a main event, and it was 12 minutes.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Steamboat Savage was 14 and a half.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I think that Rock versus Hogan. I think that's the best.
I think if we were
WrestleMania of all
arguing
time.
WrestleMania moments, that'd be up there. But I don't know if
I
we're
think
talking.
I think the matches make it. And I think
Well, matches. I think the matches do, but I don't think 1 or 2 matches will make an entire card.
I think if you look back on memorable WrestleManias, I mean, yeah, you can sit there. You can have. It's kind of what would you prefer? Somebody who is continually good, or somebody who is great.
For a very short amount of time.
On a very, very short amount of time. Yeah, I prefer the latter. Give me spectacular for a moment over, oh, yeah, that was a good match. Oh, yeah, that was a good match. I want big mark-out moments. When Hogan, that's what history is defined by, big mark-out moments.
Here, I'm looking at the WrestleMania 30.
I want to get the friendo's view on this. I want in the comments, I want to hear what you guys think is the best
because
WrestleMania.
I think Lesnar defeating The Undertaker is like one of the most.
Lesnar defeated The Undertaker, and then Bryan won in 2 matches.
Yeah,
I agree that it could be up there, but I just think I think it needs some history behind it.
I'm not debating that.
Yeah,
but like the quality, I mean, there was only
the opening was brilliant.
Yeah.
Stone Cold,
Yeah.
The Rock, and Hogan.
Yeah,
yeah.
Even Cesaro winning the Battle Royal was cool.
Yeah,
the Cena Wyatt match, while it wasn't that action heavy, had some good storytelling going on.
Yeah. The Warrior came out for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good contender. The Shield was there versus the New Age Outlaws. Yeah,
it wasn't much of a match, but it was.
Yeah, that's.
And this is one of the few years they actually let people wrestle. I mean, most of the real matches are over 20 minutes long.
20 minutes. The Shield destroyed the Outlaws in 3 minutes. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good contender right there. Yeah. It needs history, but that's definitely up there.
Yeah.
That was an impressive WrestleMania. Cool. All right. Well, no conclusive answer. We don't know what the best one of all time is. It depends on your perspective, as with everything.
So we have a top 5 here.
Yep.
WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 17, 18, 19, and WrestleMania 30.
Good run of years right there, 17, 18, and 19.
So
thick of the Attitude Era.
Yeah, let's put it up to the Friendoverse.
Yep.
Tell us which ones are your favorite. Leave it in the comments here on the YouTube, or post it on our Facebook and Twitter or Reddit, and let us know what you think is the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
We're gonna close the show with
those 5.
We're gonna close the show with my new favorite segment.
Okay. Is this a thing where each week will alternate, or like, for example, this week?
If that's what you would like to do, I hope so. That's what I'd like to do. Yes.
Okay.
So I came up with a new contest, or a new segment, a trivia challenge. Because look, this is the thing, you're a smart guy, but you also suffer from hubris.
Okay.
You believe you've won a couple. You've gotten over me a couple times in the WWF trivia game.
A couple times, more like every time we've played.
I think I've won.
No, you've never won.
Really? I didn't win the first time?
Nope. I have won every time I played that game.
What a drag. All right. Well, in order to further test your brain,
Okay.
see where your head's at,
Okay.
I came up with a contest.
Okay.
And it's called WCW Wrestler or Made Up.
Okay.
All these are from either WCW at some time in the past,
Okay.
or they're made up.
Okay.
All right. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 of them.
Let me ask you, all the ones that are made up, did you make these up yourself?
Yeah, where else would I made them up
Well, I'm
from?
just curious.
They're made up. Yeah, they're mine. They're made up.
Okay,
I didn't have Hilton make them up.
Do you have are you just going to read me names, or are there names and descriptions of these wrestlers?
It's just names.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Just names.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, the Red King.
That's real.
Made up.
Okay.
Number 2, Stan Williams.
Stan Williams. Real.
Made up. Kimberly Bacon.
Wow, that's a great name. Made up.
Real, and you know who it actually is?
Was it Kimberly Page?
Yes!
Yeah.
Alexandra York.
Alexandra or Alexander?
Alexandra
Okay.
York.
Made up.
Real.
Fuck. I knew I should have said real.
Here's a gimme, although I had no idea you were going to start off with 0 for 4. Michael Mann.
Michael Mann. Made up.
Very good.
1 for 5.
Night Stalker.
Real.
Real, very good. For a bonus point, do you know who Night Stalker was? You know the person. Do you know who Night Stalker was?
Do you know what years this character was around?
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s.
Early, yeah, the 90s. Early to late 90s, yeah.
Night Stalker.
And he was in both federations.
Okay, yeah, I would have. Night Stalker. Glenn Jacobs.
Wait, is that Kane?
Yeah.
Okay, no, good guess. Brian Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Team Chronic. Okay. The Equalizer.
Fake.
No, real actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have gone either way on that one.
Yeah. Barry Barlow.
Oh, that's real.
No, fake.
Really?
Yeah.
I swore there was a guy named Barry Barlow.
Barry Barlow is actually a drummer for. I had to look it up. Barry Barlow is a drummer for like a metal band of some sort.
Maybe I'm thinking of Barry Darso.
Yeah, there you go. There's so many Barrys. There's so many Barrys.
He was in Demolition.
All
right, 2 for 8.
2 for 8. Johnny Swinger.
Real.
Very good. Cobra.
Fake.
Real.
Fuck.
And do you know who Cobra was?
No.
NWO Sting.
Oh, that makes sense.
2 more. Ice Train.
Ice Train. Real.
Real. Very good. Very good. Last one. Concrete Wall, but Wall is spelled WOLL.
Made up.
Very good.
5 of 12.
Very good. 5 of 12. That's how you came through at the end there. That's good. I love this. This is good. I can't wait to do it next week.
Concrete Wall.
But his name is spelled WOLL.
So here's the thing, though, that next week when I come up with fake wrestler names, I have to go and search to make sure that I didn't accidentally list
I had
the
to
real
do
wrestler.
that with every single one of them. I had to do that. I had to make sure because Stan Williams sounds like a real wrestler.
Yeah, no, it does.
He should have been a real. And I had to look a couple different. I was like, okay, are we sure he wasn't a real wrestler?
So the benchmark right now is 5 of 12.
Yes, correct.
I'm gonna make note of this.
Boy, that's tough. That is tough. I know you're gonna bring it next week too.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, that was fun. That's another episode of Going In Raw in the book. And you have anything final words to add?
You better go to WrestleMania.
All right. Why do you give me your final statement on why you want me to go to WrestleMania?
There's 2 reasons.
Okay.
1, you should be there because we're all going, and it's the entire purpose behind it initially was for all of us to go and have a good time because we're friends and we like each other.
There you go. That's all. That's the only reason I need. But
Number
what was
two,
your second one?
I don't want to bother selling.
You're kind of ruining your first one right there by saying
Not at all.
That. All right. Well, that's another episode of Going In Raw. Thanks for tuning in.
See you later.
We'll see you later.
Goodbye.